Hi and welcome to Rana's Kitchen. So tonight what we're having and what we're making is one of my favorite pasta dishes, and it's actually a smoked chicken with pea and mushroom penne. Okay, it is delicious. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to do right now, so to start with, anyway, welcome. And so what I'm going to do now, to start with, I'm going to start pan frying with some olive oil some of the smoked chicken. Okay, so we're going to do that now. So most of this I've actually chopped up, but we're going to chop up a little bit more, and then we're just going to whack it in the pan. And while that's cooking, we're going to actually make a pesto. Okay, so one of the secrets to this this pasta dish is the homemade pesto. Beautiful. Oops. Okay, so this is actually on now. Now, smoked chicken you can find at most supermarkets. Okay, it's generally in where you can find the ham section, ham on the bone. You can find smoked chicken in that same area in your supermarket. This recipe can easily use normal chicken. Okay, so if you want to actually just grab your own chicken, maybe some chicken thighs or some chicken breasts, you can just quickly cut them up and pan fry them, the same as what I'm doing now. Just not the same flavor, because the smokiness adds that distinct flavor. Okay, if you want to cheat, you could probably even just add some hickory flavoring later on, but that's actually really cheating. The nice thing about this is just the smoked flavor from the chicken, the natural process. It's really nice with ham as well, like a nice triple smoked ham. That's good too, but smoked chicken just is perfect with this. Okay, so that's cooking now. What we're going to do now is we're going to make some homemade pesto. Okay, so now everything that I do is generally homemade. I don't buy pesto pre-made and then scoop it out. What's the point? Okay, so I've got pretty much most of the ingredients done there. So I'm just going to go grab my food processor. Okay, just in case it's not in shot. So I've got that here. So pesto is so simple. It's one of the easiest things that you can make, and it's one of the tastiest, and you don't need to buy it from the store. Most things that you do really enjoy, it's really quite simple to make yourself. So I've got a couple of handfuls of, well, actually one really big handful of fresh basil leaves that I've torn up already. So that would probably be 1 to 2 cups. Okay, so we'll just put that in there. So it's as simple as that. Pesto, all pesto is basil, garlic, nuts, and olive oil, and Parmesan cheese. That's as simple as it is. So we've got the basil leaves here. Okay, now so I have actually pressed some garlic already. So I did this a little bit earlier. Okay, everybody goes chopped garlic, pressed garlic. It doesn't matter. Well, it does to a degree. So chopped garlic, being a little coarser, doesn't have as much, it's not as strong a garlic flavor. Okay, so if you press it, it's going to be stronger. I love garlic. I'm not kissing anyone right now. It doesn't matter. Okay, if you want something a little bit more subtle, don't press it, just chop it. Okay. So I'm just going to put that in there now. Okay. So we have that. Now, I've toasted these nuts already. Pesto is really generally pine nuts, but you know, you're not beholden to anyone, right? You can put whatever nuts you damn well like in there, okay? So this is something that I've actually toasted already. So I've got some almond flakes that I've already toasted, so they're really yummy. They're ready to go. They're tasty. They're going in. Okay, so we've got that. We've got the garlic. Next thing is Parmesan cheese. So I've grated some. This is my best friend, okay? This is my best friend, the grater, okay? Now you've seen me use this grater before, but it is beautiful because it grates everything. I use this one for my lemon zest, orange rind, all of that. It looks like nothing. It was $25 or 20 bucks or something like that. It is the best investment I ever made. I've also got the other courses as well, so like a coarser grate. Again, they were expensive, but you know what? They're delicious. Okay? So we've got that. So we're going to put the finely shredded Parmesan through here. Okay, and this is like very floss. Okay? It's beautiful. Okay, so it was about 1.5 to 2 cups of basil, about 50 to 75 grams of grated Parmesan cheese. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. It melts. It's like it just melts on your tongue. Okay, so that's all good to go. Now, in the meantime, we're hearing the chicken sizzle. Okay, so we've got that. That's good. We've got the nuts in there, and we've also got the basil, the garlic. All we need is some olive oil. So I'm just going to quickly process that in the food processor, which you might not actually be able to see. So let's have a look. I'm going to have a piece of chicken. So with the pesto, it does have about 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, so I'm going to actually use that now. Now you're not going to be able to see it, but you just drizzle it in. I'm going to drizzle the olive oil in. How good is that? I don't think I have enough chicken in there, so I'm going to just chop up the rest of this, because we're all carnivores in this house. It's pretty yummy. So what that's doing is that's just actually browning the smoked chicken off. So it just gives it a finer texture, a little bit more caramelly as well, because it's been cooking in olive oil. And so that's just going to take a few more minutes, and then when that's done we'll actually add some of the other ingredients. Okay, so the chicken's just about done. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that out of the pan, and we're just going to let that rest. Okay? Now, unfortunately, I'm not cooking the gas. But that's browned off nicely now. Okay, so we're just going to put that in this little bowl. Okay. So now I've got that down a little bit. And what I'm going to do now is actually just gently cook some onions with some garlic. Now the secret to cooking onions is if you cook them quickly, they don't release the sweetness as much. So if you do them gently and softly, then they become sweeter and gentler. So I've turned my pan right down just so that it could be soft and gentle. And so really, so while that's cooking, this is actually takes about a half an hour to cook. So that's just going to cook probably for about 5 minutes. Okay? So those onions are just cooking nicely now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in some mushrooms. Now I've chopped these up already because I cheated. So we're going to put those in just so that they soften up nicely too. Okay, well, so while those are cooking, I'm actually going to go cut some fresh sage. I'd say that 3 times fast. Fresh sage out of my garden. Okay, because we need about 2 or 3 tablespoons of that, and I've just got some just up there growing nicely, ready to be put in the. I love that. That is just so beautiful. But I'm going to give them a quick wash. So there we go. Oh, that's my favorite herb. Anyway, so I'll give them a quick chopper. Okay, because those onions and mushrooms are probably close to being done. We'll put those in. Yeah. Okay, so now it's time to actually add the pesto. So we made that earlier, which you had a little look at. Now this is one of my favorite things to make because it's not just good for this recipe, but it's fabulous on everything. Okay? So one of the things that I actually use it on is I have it on toast for breakfast, because again, who cares if you're having garlic, because I'm not kissing anyone. It's something that you can actually just use as a dip. So if you have friends over, you've got some homemade pesto, you just whip it up with some cheese and biscuits and maybe some cooked chorizo, you're done. It's just always handy to have around. One of the things that I noticed with making your own pesto is that it does actually turn dark green really quickly, right? So what that tells me is that the stuff that you buy in the shops is full of chemicals to stop it from turning green. Okay, so I know what I'd rather. Beautiful. So I'm adding about 3 teaspoons, giant teaspoons of that, just to that mixture, and I'll give that a quick stir. Oh, I'm just going to have to try one of these mushrooms. How good is that? The mushrooms cooked out faster. Oh. With pesto. That's beautiful. Okay, so that's all good to go. So now there's not really a whole lot left to do. Now we've got to let all the flavors infuse and simmer together. So, so the next step is to actually just add some chicken stock, okay? Reduce down, then add some cream and then a little bit of cheese, and also throw in the chicken that we cooked earlier and some peas. Okay, so now what I've done is, because I cook my own stock, I don't buy store-bought stock. I've defrosted about 2 cups. Okay, I'm going to add about half of that, maybe a bit more. I've defrosted 2 because I really don't know. Okay, so we're going to put that in there. So maybe about a cup and a half. Put that away. So now that's going to reduce down. I'm going to add the chicken now so that it goes back in, and that's actually beautiful and crunchy. Okay. I'm happy. Oops, I'm happy. Okay, so what that's going to do is that's going to reduce down a little bit, so that's going to take about 10-15 minutes. When we get that down a little bit more, then I'll add some cream and we'll add the peas, and then we'll be eating in about 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, so that's actually reduced down quite nicely. And while that was reducing down, I've done some other things like get some garlic butter ready for bread. because we're having some garlic toast. So that's reduced down nicely. So I'll just show you a quick look. Okay, so that's reduced down by about half. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some cream. Now I poured myself about just over a cup. Okay, I'm not sure that I'm going to use all of that, but I've got it ready just in case. So I'm just going to pour that in. And you know what? I've got the whole lot. Okay, because that's going to reduce down some more too. Now we've also got our pasta water cooking at the same time. Okay, so this is nearly done. The only thing, it just needs to reduce down with that. And we're going to add some peas. Now these are peas that I actually took out of their pods earlier. Okay, so fresh peas are best, but if you can't get fresh peas are delicious. But if you can't get fresh peas, then frozen peas are fine. Okay, so we're going to put that in there too. That's beautiful. And I'll show you a picture of that actually. That's just gorgeous. Beautiful color. Peas will cook nicely in the cream. And yeah, it's nice. It's delicious. It's actually one of my favorite pasta dishes. So that's just cooking down, and so when we're actually ready to plate it up, I'll let you know. Out, Baxter. Well, how about that? We're finally done. So the pasta sauce is finished. It's bubbling along nicely. I've got it on low while we were cooking the pasta. I've got the pasta, I've just poured it out onto the strainer, so that actually is cooking. That took about 10-15 minutes, a little bit too long. And so we're now about ready to plate up. So it's all good to go. So now what I've done is it's a bit of cheap. Microwaves are actually kind of a cool thing. They're not great for cooking food, as you would think, but they are very good at heating up bowls and plates. So, and melting butter. So I've had 3 bowls in here because I'm cooking for me and my friends. So 3 bowls, they heat up nicely. I've had them in for a minute. So they're quite warm. So that's all we need to do now. So I'm just going to plate up. Okay. So, I need a little dish for my pasta, so I'm going to do that. You can't see me for a second, just bear with me. Okay, so we've got our pasta, and we're just going to put some sauce on there, because this is looking sensational. Okay, so I've got that off now. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a bit of, I hate that spillage, bit of cracked pepper, a sprinkle of salt, some beautiful salt there, and some fresh Parmesan that I've actually just shaved. And voila! There you have it. Sensational dish. Bon appetit.